What's up, world? It's your boy Karceno here, and I'm sitting here just chilling, talking to y'all. And let's go back to the 80s. This will make some people stand up. Like, hey, he's talking 80s boxing. It's funny because of the simple fact that I was just having a conversation with my buddy, and he was talking about, man, Mayweather run, man. That's why I don't like him. I'm like, he runs. I'm like, how he run and he laying more punches than his opponents. Man, that's because he running, man. If he just stand still and fight, man, and throw up them dukes, man. That's why I can't put him up there with my guys, man, like Sugar Ray and Hagler and all them, man. See, they threw them hands. I said, dude, when Ray Leonard fought Hagler, what was he criticized for? He was running. But they give Ray Leonard a pass because, and this for y'all who wasn't really born in that era, didn't know what the atmosphere was around that fight. Ray Leonard had been retired for a while. He didn't take a warm-up fight. He was going right into a fight with Hagler. Hagler had been basically inactive since the Mugabe fight, and he was borderline retired already. But Hagler was coming back to defend the title again, even though it was just because it was Ray Leonard. That was basically his motivation of continuing to fight. But that's neither here nor there. Ray Leonard had a retina tear, and he had surgery for it. Back then, people didn't know what retina tear was, and that's just borderline means you're going to go blind if something happened in your eye. So the way the press and the media and the papers and the news was telling the world, if Ray Leonard gets hit on that eye really hard with a hard puncher like Hagler, he could go blind. Oh my God, Ray Leonard's gonna be blind. Everybody screaming at the top of their lungs about Ray Leonard going blind. Can you believe this? Now, he wouldn't have been cleared to fight if there was a risk of him going blind against Hagler. So it was such a buildup around it that they allowed Ray Leonard to get away with running. And they run, Ray! Get away, Ray! I remember, I'm like, y'all was sitting there screaming for Ray Leonard to run. Rooting for him. Yeah, get out of there, Ray, run! Don't let them hit you in the eye, man. So it's amazing how people's memory is. Their memories are all shot. I just watched Showtime do a whole thing about Floyd Mayweather never lets people record his sparring, and for the first time ever, and I'm like, they just did a live stream against for the Cotto fight with Armand Henry. I just keep telling people this over and over. They just don't want to believe it. So when that was all said and done, oh my God. Y'all don't want to know what I just saw out here. It was incredible. I might need to get out there and get on that. But that's something entirely different from what we're talking about. But the thing is, they are sitting there talking about like this fight was the greatest thing that ever happened in the human race. And then talk about Floyd Mayweather running around the ring. But what you gave Ray Leonard credit. And then most of them didn't think he could win. And that's what I told him. I said, you didn't even think Ray Leonard was going to win. I picked Ray Leonard to win. I was one of the only persons alive that really picked Ray Leonard to win. People wanted Ray to win. They just wanted him to survive and be okay. Just be okay, Ray. It's okay if we don't win this one, Ray. I'm like, I remember y'all. Y'all were ridiculous. Just survive, Ray. And watching the fight, I'm like, oh, Hagler won this. And then the hit of decision, I'm like, yep, I knew it. Ray Leonard was going to win. Epic story. The comeback. Yep. And now he can go off into the sunset. But Ray couldn't let it go. that victory over Hagler, the way it was precisely done, was so, it was such a high. To someone like Ray Leonard, he needed that high all the time. So he had to have another big fight and another big fight. He got to keep keeping that high, that level. But he can't match that thrill. Pretty sooner or later, it's gonna run out, and that's what happened to Ray Leonard's career. But I wasn't a big Ray Leonard fan. Everybody in the world was, except for me. And I was like, they was like, man, you just jealous of Ray Leonard. Not jealous of Ray Leonard. I just wasn't a big fan. It was other fighters that I saw that were really putting in the work. And I saw Thomas Hearns putting in the work. They had some great fights. So I was mostly following Thomas Hearns' rise to the top more than Ray's. I saw Ray fights, and I'm like, okay, his fight was okay, but I like Thomas Hearns better. Tommy had the go for it attitude. Like they say, Tommy got that and Tommy going with that offense, baby. He leading off. And the hit man, that was it. You know, I watched him and Hagler. I mean, Duran at that time Duran greater days was at the lighter weights. So when everybody talked this Big Four thing, it was only due to the fact that Duran had a great run when he was at the lighter weights, but he just became a name that you could make a lot of money off of when he made it to the higher weights. And we'll talk about the trials of Oscar De La Hoya too, because a lot of people are going to say I hated on Oscar De La Hoya. I just saw his career as for what it was. If you're going to criticize people's opponents that they chose and when they fought them, Oscar De La Hoya will fall in that bracket. This man fought Julio Cesar Chavez not once but twice. He fought Jose Luis Castillo for a belt when he could have been fighting all these great fights at welterweight, but he ducked a lot of fighters at welterweight when he was supposed to fight them. I'm telling you, this guy was finna fight Sugar Ray Leonard, and that's where we're going to get into that right now. I was going to make it another video. Forget it. Let's get into it right now. Oscar De La Hoya was supposed to fight Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay? Ray Leonard was his last comeback when he lost to Camacho. That was the warm-up fight for him to get the fight with Oscar De La Hoya. That's what the plan was. They say, okay, well, we put you on a low-profile fight, low pay-per-view thing. You had that fight with Camacho. If you win that fight, boom, you got it. We're going to put you right in the ring with Oscar De La Hoya. We'll make a big pay-per-view, the return of Sugar Ray. It was going to be huge. They already had the venue worked out. They had everything done, and it didn't come through. And Ray Leonard got knocked out, and it ruined everything, and that ended up being his last fight. So Oscar De La Hoya fought the winner. He fought Hector Camacho. And, I mean, this guy they did the right thing, keeping him winning in fights to make money. But nobody said nothing because it was Oscar De La Hoya. Floyd Mayweather done something like that? All hell to pay, right? But Oscar was allowed to fight when he wanted to fight, who he wanted to fight, and how the fight was supposed to go. Always in his entire career, none of you guys criticized him. So there you have it. That fight was supposed to happen, never happened. Next, we'll talk about Felix Trinidad and the fight where he was supposed to have with Floyd. But that's later.